All right, this morning's project is we get to put in 2 lavatory faucets and associated supply and drain lines from underneath. And at the same time, we get to put in some shower trim. We don't have the rain head yet, but we have the handheld, the shower head, and the diverter. And hopefully by the end of the day, we get that rain head in. So that's this morning's project. First thing we have to do is shut the water off so that we can put some supply stops on there. We have those 2 to do, as well as the 2 in here to do. So let's go turn the water off. Okay, so the water is out here in the garage. So let us go right to the main, which is going to be this valve here. Now let's go drain the water down. If you were wondering where the toilet is, that is actually right in here. So let's flush it, and hopefully that will drain the water down. Oh, we have lights. All right, we'll let the water drain. All right. So, get our towel in there, just to catch any extra water. Oh, we have a puppy. Hey. Okay. So, we put our towel in here to catch any extra water when we cut the lines, prevent it from going down the hole. This is Upnor Aquapec, so they have Viega compression fittings on here, but we will use the expander and put Upnor fittings in instead. So let's cut this and see just how much pressure we have here. Shouldn't be too much, but actually we got some air there first. Got a little bit of water coming out. Probably some head pressure, but that's no problem. All right, let that drain out. There's more there than I thought. Oh, it's usually not that bad. So most of that water is drained out. You want to grab me one of those stops in the press tool or the expander. Get another towel in here too. All right, let's see if we can't get this to go. Wow, this water is just pouring out of here. There we go. see if this side is just as bad. Semi-eventful there. Okay. It's like they named them the sound like a suction cup. These are split rings, so they come whole. I didn't have to go so fast with that because of all the water coming out. I would have put these on, but that was okay. They will look fine. I will take this now. Oh, what did he do to me? Can I have the screwdriver, please? Oh, come on. All right. Clean that out. Pick all this stuff up. This is okay. The faucet we're installing is that right there. For all of you out there who care. So let's see what we have in the box here. We have the pop-up assembly, but this one they're not using. So we'll put that to the side because they want this style instead, which is a pop-up clicker drain. So rather than having a lift rod in the back, you push the actual pop-up assembly and it will click up. But let us mount these handles and faucet, the spout. So this is the hot side handle. This is the cold side. Obviously it says cold right here on the tag. So you end up getting something like this, where you're nice and square. You stick that down into the hole. Take your set plate, put the set screws in, take your washer, get somebody to hold that for you, and then you climb in from underneath. All right, then you climb in from underneath here. You have your partner, somebody you trust, hold that up top. And you slip your washer on. And then your set plate. that on. You don't have to go all the way up with it because you're going to have the set screws. And you can then turn down and set that handle and valve body into place. Just like so. Then you come back up top, make sure everything's nice and square, that your handle pulls in the right direction, shuts off nice, and then you move on to the next one. All right, next comes the spout. So, here's our spout. Put that right there. And you want to grab your bag of goodies for that. You're going to have a set nut. This goes on at the end. It's the T, which will connect both valve bodies to it. You get these two washers, which go in that T. And then you have your set plate, which the nut will ride against. It's got two holes in it. You want to make sure that you put this shank through the front hole so that the pop-up lever and lift rod can come down through the back hole. So for this, you stick that down, line it up so that you're nice and square and in line with your valve bodies. Then you go from underneath and tighten this down. So you climb under here. You get your person that you had helping you with the valve bodies to help you again. Bring that nut all the way up. Snug it up and get your plate lined up. Like so. And then grab your basin wrench. Stick that up in there. So that it grabs your nut. And snug it up. Okay, next, grab your T. Grab your rubber washer, which you want to make sure you put just a little bit of silicone grease on that. This is more of a to put back pressure on the actual gasket, because then your plastic washer here is the actual gasket. So you can put a little bit of silicone grease on that as well. So you put the rubber washer in, then your plastic washer, and then you spin that up and onto the bottom. And tighten it down. Either use pliers or you can use a adjustable, but I don't have an adjustable with me, so pliers will work just fine. Then you grab your supplies. Okay, so you have two ends of the supplies. You have your male ends and then you have your female ends. The female ends go on to the end of the T, and the male ends go up into the valve body. They have a little O-ring on here, so you want to make sure that you put some silicone grease on those O-rings. Then find your female threads on the valve body. Insert your male ends, twist them up. All right, so then you take your open end wrench, stick it up there, snug it down just a little bit, snug it down, and then you grab the female connection and twist that onto the T, like so. And like so. Then you grab your adjustable if you don't have an open end wrench that's the right size. Snug those up, just like so. And your valve bodies are connected to the spout. Then to complete the look on top, you still are going to want to put the lift rod in there so that we don't have an open hole. It won't be doing anything because they are going to be using a clicking style pop-up, but you still want it to look right. So, to complete the water supply, grab your basin wrench, 5/8 open end wrench. These supplies are a little long, but it's just over a foot, so rather than using a supply extension, we'll just use a 20-inch supply. Thread the larger size up onto the pigtail, and then the 3/8 goes down to the supply stop. You want to twist them so that they're not totally sticking out into the cabinet, so that there is some usable space. Nice thing with these is you can put them on and then you can kind of twist them to where you need them to go. Then you take your basin wrench again and you just snug them up. If you start twisting the pigtail, you've probably started tightening it too much. You don't really need a whole lot. And you take your 5/8 open end wrench, come down to the bottom. I always hold back on the supply so it doesn't twist up on me. And those, you can really kind of snug up pretty good. Again, you don't have to go crazy with it. And you can always turn the supplies back like so. Okay, next comes the pop-up. So, I don't have a utility knife with me, but flathead should work just as well. Pop this open. See what we've got in here. All right. Let's open the bag up. Let's make sure we have the right thing. Seems to be so. So, with this, just back this collar, retaining nut down. Spin out the actual pop-up itself. That just threads in there. You pull the flange off. Being metal, we can use plumber's putty. If it were plastic, or if the sink itself was not ceramic, you would have to use silicone. Don't put plumber's putty on any stone. The stone will absorb the oils in it and it will stain the stone. So, start squeezing this, roll it out. Some of you are probably saying, why are you not wearing gloves? You're going to get oil all over the finish. The reality is, you just take a cloth at the end and wipe it off. The other reality is, once you start turning the water on, you're going to start getting water stains and all sorts of other fun. So, as much as you want to protect the finish, it will get stained. You then take the pop-up. You want to dope this gasket, and I typically dope the face of underneath so that you make sure you get a good seal. You then take your tailpiece, stick it up through, spin your flange on there, making sure not to cross thread. Spin it on there all the way. And you can pull down to set that flange into place a bit. And then from underneath, you make sure you're all doped up around the bottom and along the gasket. You hold down on the tailpiece, and you tighten up your set nut. Get that so it's snug. And you grab your pliers, adjust it so that you get the right size, and then you tighten it down. You want to make sure it's fairly snug. Then you take your tailpiece, pull that out, grab your dope again. And you want to dope those fine threads up. Once you do that, you can put your tailpiece back in, making sure not to cross thread again. Snug it down. And then you wipe it down. Clean up that dope. Make it look pretty. Then you come back up top, pull out your excess plumber's putty. Take your rag, clean rag, wipe it down, wipe the flange down so that you get your fingerprints off of it. So like I said, it's not going to matter a whole lot because once you get water on there, it starts to stain it anyway. Then you can take your pop-up, thread that back down in there, test it out, clean that off, and you're good to go. Okay. So all that's left is the trap. So we pull the nut off of our trap adapter. We open up our P-trap box. We get the dip, weir, couple nuts, and 1.5 and 1.25 inches by 1.5 inches ferrule. Slip one nut on here, all the way down. Take your trap adapter nut, slip it on the back there, like so. Take the other nut and your 1.25 by 1.5 inches ferrule. Put it on your tailpiece. Take your dope and dope up the face of the mating surfaces on your dip. And also on the face of the trap adapter. Then you can stick the weir. You can put the dip in. It's best to tighten your dip to weir nut first. Then the others don't matter so much. You just get them so they're threaded, and then you can kind of adjust things as you need them. So you're close. Bring down your tailpiece nut, and you can tighten them down, but you only want to do these hand tight. Don't use any pliers or wrenches on these because you can crack them and they don't need to be that tight. And just like that, you're done. All right, let's turn the water back on. gonna be a couple toilets filling, so probably hear that. We'll just turn that on. So that's gonna take a minute. The toilet's filling. Let's check if we have any leaks under here. I don't see any leaks there. How about over here? None there. All right, let's keep moving forward. All right. Find that drain, pop it open, and look underneath. Check for leaks up on the supply lines. You see anything dripping? Gimbal went. Oh no. Come on, gimbal. Doesn't work. It's trying. There it goes. There's no water on the basin here, around the bottom of the vanity. And we've drained out, so good to go on this one. And we come over to this one. Already started draining it. Again, come in, check for leaks on the supplies. No leaks on the supplies. No water around here. Good to go. right, let's test it out. head. All right, just like that. We're all together. They still have to get the rain head, but everything else is together and working good.